The Coordinating Council says the task force to ensure this directive will include the Motor Traffic and Transport Department, MTTD, of the Ghana Police Service, the National Road Safety Authority, NRSA, and the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority, DVLA. My colleague Ramatu Jawando is back from the offices of the Coordinating Council and has joined us with more details. Good afternoon, Ma'am.
Good afternoon, Micheline. How are you?
What was the general consensus?
The general consensus was that, as you know, if you look at the tricycles plying the motorway, you, especially if you drive, you ply the motorway on a daily basis, you would see that anytime they're using the road, they cause accidents. So although they didn't give the reasons, but I want to know, I want to say that this is some of the reasons why they took that measure. But also, what they said was that from 1st November 2021, the tricycles should not ply the motorway.
Okay.
They should just limit themselves to community driving. But from February 1st, 2022, the tricycles, motorcycles are not supposed to ply the motorway. They are not supposed to ply high streets and then all other major streets. They should ply within their jurisdictions.
There was also a ban on jurisdictional ban. There was a jurisdictional ban starting from 2022, I guess.
February 2022.
How is this going to be? What are they supposed to do? Did they give a roadmap? What are they supposed to do?
They're just coming out with endorsement. So this endorsement, just like you see on some taxis, you would just see that this taxi is supposed to drive within the LECMA jurisdiction. They're just going to do exactly that. You have to drive within your jurisdiction. You don't have to go to other jurisdiction, especially those carrying the tricycles, carrying the rubbish, the waste. They don't also have to go from one point to the other. There would be, the Regional Coordinating Council is trying to build a collection point, coming up with 29 collection points. So that means if you're carrying the rubbish, let's say from Okponglo to Legon, you cannot go to Legon, but you have to, there would be a dumping site at Okponglo where you have to drop the rubbish, and then there would be a big vehicle to collect it to its final destination.
Very well. Is this just Accra or Greater Accra, or it cuts across nationwide?
For now, it's starting with Greater Accra. But I want to believe that they would extend it to other regions. But he came up with some point as well that motor riders and tricycles, when they're from 1st February 2022, when they're driving, they have to be in the appropriate gear. That means they have to have a protector for their knee, elbows. They should also be in a reflector and all that. So if you don't have all that, you would be dealt with. Also, if your car is unregistered, or your tricycle is unregistered, you've been given up to 30th November to register it, to do the necessary documentation, or else you would have yourself to blame. Also, what he said was that if your car is impounded,
your tricycle is impounded.
Your tricycle is impounded, or your motorcycle is impounded, you have up to 1 month to go through the process and then see to it that you can have your tricycle or motorcycle back, or else they will just take the appropriate measures to see to it that...
Very well. With all these said, education for the tricycle, those who drive the tricycles, the abuboyas and the motors, what education has been done?
Yes, so I think education just started. What the regional minister said was that from now till January 31st, we are all going to be involved in educating the public on what measures they are coming up with.
Thank you very much, Ajia Rama. We are most grateful for this update. I've been speaking with my colleague Ramatu Jawando, who is back from the Office of the Coordinating Council, who has just issued a statement directing all motor, tricycle, popularly known as Aboboyas, to halt their operations on the Tema motorway come November 1, 2021, and starting February 1, 2022, there's also been a jurisdictional ban. Education is ongoing, and so hopefully all those who use Aboboyas would understand what is required of them and comply accordingly. You're watching News Hour live on GBC News and News and Governance channel. The government expects to create about 220,000 jobs following the launch of the National Alternative Employment Program for illegal miners. Setting the program in motion in Takwa in the Western region, President Akufo-Addo said these jobs would be created in the 5 regions, reeling from the impact of Galamsey. Bring you that story soon. We'll move to other stories now, trying to get a hold of
with the filth in Accra. The gutters are choked with garbage. The streets are a jumble of filth. The beauty of the serene beaches is marred with human feces and plastics as many defecate in the open. Residents are up in arms when the situation gets out of hand.
Because of these meetings, you can't even stand there for even a minute to speak there. If the mosquitoes even refuse to breathe on it.
Partners in sanitation suggest alternative policy interventions.
Landfilling is not the way forward. We are recommending treatment facilities.
But in all of this, have we made gains in the sector?
How can you have a people who have a lot of dignity and still practicing open defecation?
The task facing Ghana to achieve SDG Goal 6 on clean water and sanitation for all is Herculean and riddled with equally complicated hurdles. Join us every Thursday on Wash Hour from 4:05 p.m. to 5 p.m. as we seek to put these issues and more in perspective. Watch a repeat on Fridays from 1 to 2 p.m. and on Sundays 9:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. It is our duty to keep our surroundings clean and free from disease.
You're welcome back. We sincerely apologize for the long break. The euphoria that greeted the opening of the Procrasti Interchange appears to be short-lived. Rise from the interchange towards the Ofankor barrier, the traffic flow is still very slow, especially during the peak hours. It appears traffic congestion on the stretch will only be over if the 4 lanes from the interchange continue all the way to the Ofankor barrier. At the moment, the 4 lanes narrow into 2 towards the barrier, almost becoming a bottleneck.
The construction of the Procrasti Interchange began in the year 2018. This road complex was inaugurated by President Akufo-Addo on July 9, 2021, to the relief of many, especially those who usually commute through the particular corridor. The construction of the interchange here has solved the traffic congestion, but that is only within the immediate environs of the interchange. As the traffic snakes its way towards the Ofankor barrier, the 4 lanes narrow into 2. This is where the problem is. Some motorists and passengers expressed their views about the situation to GBC News.
Because I have fine, but handsome yet. There be a problem you're facing. A bar, a 6 lane, a bar, and a 2 lane. I'm why roadway dear, I'm why I'm white. Tebe boy, that's what you could do of Anko. Oh, I make us a mere footbridge anymore. Oh, a jab on my people called traffic and one main course. No, like the footbridge, no. I'm on my cross, school colano, and I think about traffic number down.
A second look at the 4-tier interchange project is necessary.
Bishop Stephen Kwesi Appiah, popularly known as Jesus Ahmofe of the New Life Kingdom Chapel, who allegedly prophesied the death of dancehall artist Shatta Wale, has been granted bail in the sum of 100,000 Ghana cedis. His lawyers secured his release on Monday morning after he spent 4 days in lawful custody after pleading not guilty to a charge of causing fear and panic. As part of his bail conditions, he is to produce 3 sureties who are gainfully employed and to report to the police every Monday and Thursdays. On the last sitting, the pastor pleaded not guilty to the charge of causing fear and panic before the Circuit Court, presided over by Mrs. Ellen Ofei Aye. in court on Thursday, October 21, counsel for the accused person, Martin Pebu, while praying for bail, said his client was unwell but was remanded to reappear on Monday. When his bail application was repeated, prosecution led by Chief Inspector Dennis Epete did not oppose to the grant of bail. The case has been adjourned to Friday, October 29, 2021. Some residents in the La in Kwantanan Medina municipality in Accra on Monday, October 25, 2021, blocked portions of the Ayi Mensa, Damfa and Utinibi stretch in protest against the nature of the road. According to the residents, their roads have been unmotorable for years. The call on the government to, without delay, deploy contractors to fix the roads have proved futile. The protest was to express the constituency's displeasure at the devastating caused by the recent rains, which flooded the areas and trapped some constituents in their homes. National Pensions Regulatory Authority has engaged workers in the informal sector at WA in the Upper West region to get them to contribute to the pension scheme. The authority says those in the informal sector constitute a majority of the working population, yet they contribute about 4% to the pension scheme. Swala Abdul Wahab has more.
Of pension scheme. The authority is therefore worried about the situation, and that has necessitated the interaction between officials of the authority and those in the informal sector in the Upper West Rural Capital. We have been finding out from the zonal head of the National Pension Regulatory Authority in charge of the northern region why those in the informal sector are not willing to contribute to particularly the third tier scheme of any pension.
I think the informal sector people actually do not have appreciation of the entire pension system before they come into being of the regulator, or especially the three-tier pension scheme. So because they do not have information about it, they lack knowledge about it, we decided to engage them so that we'll be able to sensitize them, listen to them, know what their problems are, and then let them know that there are private corporate classes who are managing pensions now so that they can enroll. Because most of them, they sit back at their shops and they find it difficult due to their busy schedule to even get to banks to do contributions to their trustees. Now the trustees have, as a result of technology, they are able to give them short code that they can sit using their mobile money to pay towards their retirement.
Now, GBC News has been interacting with some of the participants to gauge their mood about the relevance of the interaction to them.
Initially, we were doing this with the people who were cattle dealers before us. Some of them are in the house. They have no benefit now, apart from their children helping them. But now we have learned that there is a place we can say something small, which will help us in future.
But the way they are talking, if it is we maintain like this and we are contribute, we know that the time that we also go on and we can weave. If up to 50 years, you can weave crop again. So it means that it will be good if you are contribute to the association. It will help us.
So the participants say, though today's interaction is very crucial for them, they are calling for more of such interactions to help them understand the system of pensions in the country. This, they believe, will help.
The government expects to create about 220,000 jobs following the launch of the National Alternative Employment Program for illegal miners. Setting the program in motion at Takwa in the Western region, President Akufo-Addo said these jobs would be created in 5 regions, reeling from the impact of Galamsey.
Small-scale mining produces 40% of Ghana's gold annually. The activities of Galamsey operators have had dire consequences on water bodies and the environment. These has culminated in the deployment of Operation Vanguard and subsequently Operation Halt, all with the aim of sanitizing the industry. However, these moves by government had affected the livelihood of people in these communities. Mindful of this, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources has held a national dialogue in the Ashanti and Savannah regions and drawn up a blueprint to tackle the Galamsey menace head-on and ensure that affected communities are taken care of. The sector minister, Mr. Samujina, said about 100 concessions would be given out to promote modern but sustainable mining practices in communities affected by Galamsey.
Community mining has become the main fulcrum around which we seek to organize responsible small-scale mining, and we have ramped up our efforts accordingly. So far, 5 community mining schemes with 20 concessions have been launched in Mampehia in the Ahanta West Municipality, Kwabre in the Jomoro Municipality, Edukrom in the Ahafuano South East District, Jakobu in the Amansie Central District, and Achim Aba in the Kwabi Brim District. These 5 schemes have the capacity to employ some 26,300 people in direct and indirect employment. We expect to launch a total of 18 schemes with 100 concessions by the end of the year.
For the President, Nana Akufo-Addo, key among the projects under the National Alternative Employment Program for illegal miners are reclamation of lands destroyed by illegal mining.
The Akufo-Addo government is not against small-scale mining. On the contrary, the government is in full support of responsible small-scale mining activities, as they provide an avenue for Ghanaians to participate in the mining industry and contribute substantially to our gold exports. Small-scale mining should therefore be encouraged, and we will do all that is necessary to promote it for our collective benefit.
The 5 regions hit hard by Galamsey are Eastern, Western North, Bono and Ashanti.
Government has instituted measures to ensure effective containment of the pathogenic avian influenza, HPAI, in the poultry sector in the country. The Ministry of Food and Agriculture has held a news conference in Accra to notify poultry farmers about the intervention measures.
Implementation with respect to the emergency fund of 43,984,000 cedis, the amount will cover the following items: procurement of 33 cross-country 4x4 vehicles, largely pickups, to make sure that we cover every nook and cranny in this country in terms of monitoring and effective work. 275 motorbikes, compensation payments to farmers who have lost their bears, active disease surveillance of domestic and wild bears population, public awareness creation of the situation of the HPAI in Ghana, and this forum is a classic example where through you we are hoping that you assist us to inform the people of Ghana and poultry farmers in particular about the measures that we are taking, training and capacity building for existing and newly recruited staff, and we are going to have a lot of newly recruited staff as we've described, nationwide engagement with key stakeholders, stamping out decontamination and disposal materials, among others. So these are the main activities that the money, the nearly 44 million Ghana cedis, will be used for.
At an orientation program for members of the Ghana Immigration Governing Council at Koforidua in the Eastern Region, the Chief Director at the Ministry of Interior, Mrs. Adelaide Anukumi, charged the Council to be strategic in formulating policies that will help propel the service to greater heights.
The Ghana Immigration Service Governing Council is constituted to advise the sector minister on formulation of policies for the management of the service. The council is also to determine matters in respect of administration, welfare, training and discipline of officers above the rank of senior inspector. The council will make recommendations to the minister on bilateral and multilateral cooperation with foreign countries in matters related to migration and related issues. Participants were taken through operations in the service, finance and administration, management information system, among others. The Controller General of Immigration, Mr. Kwame Suatechi, urged members of the council to tackle critical issues confronting the service head-on.
I have a lot of confidence that we will come up with strategies, innovative ideas towards the realization of the objective of the council and the Ghana Immigration Service as a whole.
The Chief Director at the Ministry of Interior, Mrs. Adelaide Anokumi, asked members to be diligent in their work.
As council members, it is expected that you play your strategic roles by coming out with policies on issues that could move the service to the next level.
The Eastern Regional Minister, Mr. Seth Kwame Champon, advised the council to ensure that officers at the entry points are vigilant to prevent illegal migrants from entering the country. He also spoke about the QNet online marketing business, which he says is attracting foreign nationals to the country illegally.
It's News Hour. We'll be back shortly after this break. Please do stay. Welcome back. The Upper East Regional Museum is, for the first time since its establishment some years ago, undergoing massive reconstruction. The regional office block of the gallery has been renovated. Our Upper East Regional correspondent Samuel Ayama joins us with more details.
Thank you very much. We are currently at the regional office of the museum, where there are a lot of restructuring currently ongoing. You come here, you realize that if you have been here for some time and you are here, you not believe what is happening here. There's a lot of restructuring going here, rehabilitation taking place here for the first time since its establishment several years ago. I have the in charge here to tell us more about what her outfit is currently doing here to bring a facelift to this facility. So, Madam, tell us, what is going on here?
Currently, what is happening here is that the Upper East Regional Museum, like the galleries of the Upper East Regional Museum, is on lockdown due to a renovation work going on. We are renovating the institution, especially the gallery, that's the exhibition hall, and then constructing a hands-on museum. Generally, everybody out there may call it a workshop, but I call it a practical museum, where we shall have a practical feel of the exhibits that are being exhibited in the galleries. And we also have a reception being constructed in the galleries. In actual sense, the gallery we see here was initially built for staff. Its office is not a gallery, but the regional office has been able to use the halls of the offices as an exhibition hall. And the interesting aspect of it is that for the whole of the northern regions of Ghana, this is the only gallery that Ghana Museums and Monuments has for us as Northeast. So right from Tamale, we don't have Ghana Museums and Monuments Hall. We go to Upper West, we have an office for Ghana Museums, but we do not have a gallery. So this has been the only gallery serving the people of the northern Ghana.
So who is behind this? Who is sponsoring you?
This project has been sponsored by French Embassy. French Embassy have been able to make their way through. We've sent our proposal, accepted. So we've been asked to change the floors of the galleries. That was established in the early 90s. And then we have been provided with some funds to improve upon the ventilation aspect of the gallery. Then we have reworked on the small room where we can have a documentary session for the people, the students that will be visiting the galleries. So when you come into the galleries of Upper East Regional Museums, right from on the 9th onwards, you shall have an interaction with the photo exhibits. Then you have a feel of the documentary, short videos on the various sites of our cultural heritage sites. Then now move on straight into the hands-on museums, where when you have seen a basket during the exhibition, you will see the beginning of that basket product. If you have seen a leather product during the exhibition, you will see the beginning of how the leather was made. If you have seen a woven fabric in the gallery, then you will get somebody there to take you through how the fabric is woven.
So we want to thank you very much, and then follow up when they are done with the whole rehabilitation and renovation, and then they finally fix everything. Will come your way with a detailed report. For GVC News, Samuel Ayama reporting, Bolga.
That was our Upper East Regional correspondent Samuel Ayama. He reported from the Regional Museum, which is currently undergoing some renovation works. Maurice Ogbete is standing by with a business segment.